Paranormal Punches is part of the Podbelly Network. Go to podbelly.com for more great podcasts.
Hey y'all, this is Frank the Bigfoot, and you're listening to the Paranormal Puncher.
Hey friends, welcome to another episode of Paranormal Punchers, where the podcast talks about all things paranormal in a little bit of lighthearted manner. Sometimes we crack jokes, sometimes we don't. But on this episode, we're going to talk about the Black Knight satellite. Dun-dun. I'm Mark.
I'm Alicia.
I'm Nash.
I'm Dave.
Yeah, so get out those tinfoil hats because there's some pretty weird things to discuss about the Black Knight satellite, conspiracy theories, Nikola Tesla, somehow has been part of this. So this was a topic submitted by Kevin J. Thanks, Kevin J. And get ready for all the weirdness.
So there's a theory that there's a spacecraft or satellite of extraterrestrial origin that has been in orbit near Earth for 13,000 years. And NASA is covering it up. Now, this theory didn't really come to fruition until like 1973. But there's like a lot of different avenues or things that people have taken to combine into this theory. But none of them are related. So they're linking these things together, but they're not really, I don't know.
Well, they're kind of related.
Kind of, but not really. I don't know. So in 1899...
It's not a good conspiracy if you don't link random things together.
Yeah,
Right.
I
I was going to say, they're linked. I'm just saying. You're saying that they're not, but,
So really it begins with Nikola Tesla. So in 1899,
Sparky.
he began to record some very odd signals that seemed to come from outer space. Now, he was given $100,000 to create a new lighting system, which he then, of course, used instead on experiments in his lab in Colorado.
Right, so the first thing Nikola Tesla does with this money he was given by this dude called Jacob Astor, who died on the Titanic.
Oh.
I don't know if that could be tied into this conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
But yeah, this dude gave him $100,000. I'm sure back in 1900s, that was
That's a boatload of money.
Yeah, that was a lot.
You like that? How I linked the boatload of money to the Titanic?
Yes. That was fantastic.
Fantastic.
But yeah, he immediately blew it on his own experiments, which, I mean, I guess that kind of makes sense.
Well, that's what the money was for, though, right?
A different experiment, I think. So,
And for according to a quick search, $100,000 in 1899 is worth $3.3 million today.
ooh.
Wow.
Cha-ching.
So anyway, while he was in his lab, he received some electrical signals that he did not expect on a highly sensitive radio transmitter. Now, he interpreted them as a series of numeric codes, and he believed that they were from intelligent beings on Mars. Now, Mark, did you have some things that...
Yeah, because he actually wrote about this in a publication called Collier's. In 1901, his article was called Talking with the Planets.
Ooh.
But he said, I felt as though I were present at the birth of a new knowledge or the revelation of a great truth.
Okay, so what's up with that accent? Where, hold on, let's just hold on for a second. Is he from Texas? What was that? New
I
York?
don't know. Does anybody know what Tesla sounds like?
He was in Colorado. He just sounded like a dude, just a regular guy.
Yeah, I'll continue. Even now, at times, I can vividly recall the incident and see my apparatus as though it were actually before me. My first observations positively terrified me, as there was present in them something mysterious, not to say supernatural. And I was alone in my laboratory at night.
In Colorado.
So he got a little spooked
with $100,000.
with today's money, $3.5 million.
Right.
Yeah. But he continues here.
He was Serbian, by the way.
Oh, was that your Serbian accent?
No, I'm not even going to try that. I'm not going to insult all my friends, so I'll just do it as Sylvester Stallone.
Oh, no.
So Tesla continues. Oh, it was it was sometime after that, and then no, I'm not going to do that. It was sometime afterward when the thought flashed upon my mind that the disturbances I had observed might be due to an intelligent control. Although I could not decipher their meaning, it was impossible for me to think of them as having been entirely accidental. The feeling is constantly growing on me that I had been the first to hear the greeting of one planet to another.
Now, the Black Knight satellite theorists, and I'm going to call them BKS theorists because it's just easier to say that. Yes. Yeah. They believe that he actually was receiving the signal from the satellite where the aliens were trying to communicate with us. Now, the scientific consensus is that he likely encountered electromagnetic signals. I'm having trouble talking. I'm sorry.
It's okay. That's what this show's all about.
Yeah, that are emitted from pulsars. Pulsars. Thank you. Which were not discovered until the 1960s. So BKS theorists. I'm sorry.
Theory people?
Yeah, they believe it was coming from the satellite. And then scientific consensus says, no, it was actually this. But anyway, so in 1927, Norwegian engineer Jorgen Hals found that the radio waves he was transmitting were being echoed back to him 3 seconds after his transmission would end. Now, these signals are actually called long-delayed echoes, and they have been observed since that time, but it has never been fully explained. Now, of course, some have proposed that these signals were from alien probes where they were trying to get our attention. But
Probes.
Now, can I hit pause this for a second?
sure.
If it's about probes, I get it.
Yeah. No, that was earlier. Anyway, the signals. Okay, so the signal itself, the signal travels at about 300 million meters per second.
Okay.
Okay, so I did a little math on the
boy.
3 second, right? Because I do
Nash
that.
math. Nash math.
That's right. I should have a segment.
It's happening right now.
Yeah,
Right.
Nash math. It's Nash time. At a 3 second delay, it traveled a grand total of one way 450 million meters total in that 3 second delay. 450 million meters equals 279,617 miles.
But you have to divide that by 2.
One way.
But he was experiencing it bouncing back in 3 seconds, so it only had time to go 1.5 seconds before it
So
came
if you take 300 million times 3, it's 900 million. Half of that is 450 million.
back. Okay. It's not the way you explained it.
That's the math. Anyway, thanks, Dave, for ruining Nash math. So the yeah, that's right. So the moon's over Miami is roughly 238,900 miles away. So the signal one way only traveled an additional, what is that, 40,000 miles? So the 40,000 miles is when the signal got to the moon and went to the dark side of the moon. There's the additional 40,000 miles one way.
Wait, the moon doesn't have a diameter of 40,000 miles.
What's the diameter of the moon?
Well, the diameter of the Earth is 25,000, and
Well, right, but you also have to give allowance for receiving the transmission and bouncing it back, which we're talking milliseconds here. So that is so close to be able to say that the signal bounced off the dark side of the moon to a base that's hidden there and sent back. That would be a good plausible reason for a 3 second delay in a signal. Back to you, Alicia.
Okay.
Is that the end of Nash Math?
For now, I've got more.
You got more.
And that has been Nash Math, brought to you by Harvard University.
Now, the Black Knight satellite.
We're jumping into
Fact check Dave. Fact check Dave.
Brought to you by Princeton.
Diameter of the moon is 2,158 miles.
Okay, so that's 5% of the trip one way. 40,000 to 2,000. 10% would be 4,000, so 5% of the trip, right? Then you allow for receiving the signal, figuring it out, and sending it back.
Okay.
There you go. Boom.
Mic drop.
I don't want to do that. They're nice mics.
All right. Hey, if you're still with us.
The Black Knight satellite theory, the first part was.
Do we ever say exactly what the Black Knight satellite really is?
Yeah.
Like if you look at pictures.
Easy. We'll get there. Easy. Let you go.
I'm just setting up for
easy.
listeners that don't even know what Black Knight is.
Well, Martin played a movie called Black Knight.
You know, actually, it was a pretty decent movie.
Yeah.
I liked it. Yeah.
Anyway, back to you, Alicia.
Anyway, so the theory, the first part of it is the signal and sound anomalies that were discovered or heard up until that point. Now, the second part has to do with government cover-up. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So in 1954, there was a claim by UFO researcher Donald Kehoe that a source in the Pentagon had confirmed to him that there were 2 natural satellites orbiting Earth. Now, astronomers were enlisted to search for these satellites by the Army Office of Ordnance Research, but they denied ever discovering any evidence.
When you say natural satellite, talking like a big chunk of rock that aliens set a base upon, and now it's just kind of...
Right.
Yeah, or large stingray fish kind of swimming around. No, it's a big rock.
For the record, the moon is a natural satellite.
Yes.
Right.
So
Just
that
a
would
big
be
So
one
that
of
leads
the 2.
right back to that base.
Now, BKS conspiracists, they believe that this claim by Kehoe, as well as the denial from the government as evidence that it exists, and they are trying to cover it up.
Bastards.
Yeah. Now, interesting enough, a couple years after, so I'm not sure what the date is specifically, but Russia and the U.S. launched satellites.
The Sputnik launch.
Yeah, so this was a few years after this was, I don't know, claimed that there were actually satellites up there. So
1957.
Yeah, because
Okay, thank you.
it was discovered in 54, I think it was, and Sputnik was 3 years after that.
yeah. So, of course, BKS people, they're like, this is suspicious. Were they sending something up there to, I don't know, look for something up there? I don't know. Now, in 1961, ufologist Jacques Vallée claimed that he recorded footage of a UFO that was in orbit around Earth. He also claimed that video was confiscated by the government and has never been seen again. So that's just another part of it. In 1963, NASA astronaut Gordon Cooper, he reported that he saw the satellite while he was in space. But there was a media blackout upon his return, and the U.S. Space Agency allegedly put it down to cosmic hallucinations. Now,
Wait, so they're trying to say that astronaut was having...
He was
Yeah.
tripping.
yeah,
tripping,
he was-
just like in that movie Armageddon when Steve Buscemi's character was
Yes.
starting to
Yes.
have space dementia. It's like trying to shoot things. Okay.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
like
I
what
believe you missed the documentary
Armageddon.
for
good call. Good catch. Fact check, Dave. It's very similar to the what sailors when they're in a submarine get. I don't have the name of that. What's that called? Where they get like a hypoxia or something like that.
Is that from the documentary The Abyss?
The Abyss, yeah. But that's if you get it's like from pressure from being in a confined space for so long, you go a little cuckoo cuckoo.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, during his time as a pilot, so before he was an astronaut, Gordon Cooper, he also claimed to see several different UFOs throughout his career. And he even claimed on his deathbed that the U.S. government was covering up info about it. Now, up until this point, there was no central theory about a satellite that is watching us. Enter Duncan Lunan.
Oh, Duncan.
So, Duncan Lunan is a Scottish science fiction writer with an emphasis on astronomy. And he came up with a theory that took all the events and merged them into what is the Black Knight satellite theory, which Black Knight satellite I honestly think is a really good name because it kind of rhymes like crisscross applesauce. So, I don't know. But basically that this was a 13,000-year-old UFO orbiting the Earth. And it was the source of all of the sightings and signals and all of that weird stuff. He claims to have decoded all of this. There was a message and instructions from an alien race. So the entire decoded message, it's not that long. Start here. Our home is in Epsilon Bootis, which is a double star. We live on the 6th planet of 7, coming from the sun, which is the larger of the two. Our 6th planet has 1 moon. Our 4th planet has 3. Our 1st and 3rd planets each have 1. Our probe is in the position of Arcturus, known in our maps. Which is very specifically saying nothing.
Not true, but go ahead.
Okay. Interestingly enough, he later withdrew the claim and basically wanted nothing to do with this. But at this point, he was basically associated with it. You know, he was typecast as the Black Knight dude.
Right.
So, yeah.
So the reason why I say that is they did a little research on this claim of where Arcturus is. Okay. They found Arcturus, but it wasn't in the exact location that Lunans had said or had heard.
Did they have to wake up the R2 droid to get the rest of the
kind
map?
of. So what they did is they pulled out the star charts of this particular area of the known system, and they dialed the star charts back somehow. I don't know how they did it, but they did, and it was correct. What the message described to Lunan or whoever that the message that he got was correct, circa 13,000 years earlier.
Okay.
That it was on the money as of 13,000 years before he received this message. That's why they're saying that the satellite came from there and it is currently 13,000 years old. Boom.
Okay.
There you go.
Now, not having anything to do with our actual topic, Lunan, he actually speculated that the green children of Woolpit were mistakenly transported to Earth due to a malfunction in a matter transmitter. Sorry.
They were beamed.
Is that what made him green?
Well, the children were accidentally returned from a settlement of humans established by aliens on an Earth-like world with unusual GMO veggies, which would explain their unusual skin color. I just found
Probably
that...
Monsanto.
Right. So we have the theory at this point. Now, in 1998, a photo was taken during the STS-88 mission, which shows a black object just hovering above Earth in low orbit. I don't know if you guys looked at this picture.
Yep.
You have it? Okay. Now, NASA classified it as a space debris. Now, the International Space Station was under construction, and the shuttle mission was sent up to help the build. They brought equipment along, including 4 thermal blankets, but one of those blankets came loose while they were up there, and so they were saying that's what it was. They said that a few days after they photographed it, it fell from orbit and burned up.
It doesn't... I guess it could be a giant blanket, but this thing's like hovering over Earth. Nash, you're ready to go.
I know.
Tell us about Tell us this story.
Well, thank you for asking, Mark. Okay. Excuse me. Sorry.
Way to clear your throat
Yeah,
before
yeah,
you began.
yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Everybody appreciates that.
So I'm just going to read from what I have here. NASA. Yeah. So this is a story from Jerry Ross, who was one of the astronauts that noticed this. Okay. So Ross, he was on the first space shuttle mission to the ISS. Ross asked to wrap up the ship's protruding landing pins in thermal blankets to prevent heat loss. But while he and a fellow astronaut, Jim Newman, were on a spacewalk installing the blanks, whatever those are, they came loose from his tether and floated away into space. As the quote-unquote satellite moves across the atmosphere, a small white object suddenly appears from the right and starts to approach it head-on. The white object suddenly appears, I actually read that, from the right and starts to approach it head-on. Secure Team 10, whoever Secure Team 10 is.
They're a conspiracy theory
Okay.
program on YouTube, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. I didn't know that. I thought it was like a space thing. I don't know.
No, it's conspiracy theories.
Okay.
So.
Yeah.
It's not Team America.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, I can see like the ST-10 like outfit with cool patch. Claimed the small object was a secret Illuminati warplane that fired a rocket at the satellite and split the object into two, one being circular in shape. The circle is in fact an alien escape pod, is what they are saying.
But I would like to stop there.
Okay.
Just to discuss that one chunk. The Illuminati
Yep, they have spacecraft technology.
they have spacecraft technology, sent this up and fired a missile at it.
That's right.
Yeah.
But with the Illuminati, again, here's the secret society founded in, the 1700s in Bavaria, which we all know that's where Oktoberfest goes down.
Nice. Right. They got really good chocolate there.
But it's supposed to be the secret society based on like enlightenment and education. Do you know some people say that some of the members of the Illuminati are Justin Bieber, Lady Gaga? So right then I question the enlightenment and not Lady Gaga. I love Lady Gaga, but Justin Bieber is a member of the Illuminati.
Please.
So maybe his whole thing is just a front to throw us off that he's like.
Maybe.
He's a secret in there, and he was planted in there because of this, and they orchestrated the whole thing around him.
Do you know, like, Justin Bieber also has, like some type of belt level in jiu-jitsu? So,
That's nice.
despite if you dislike Justin Bieber, like, the thing is, he could probably kick your ass.
Well, that would be fun to try.
Yeah. At least choke you out, rear naked choke.
So just to track the conversation, I'm going to take your point, Alicia, just to track the conversation. We went from Black Knight Satellite to getting shot out of space by Illuminati to Justin Bieber being naked choking David.
Oh.
Out. Yeah. Now,
wow.
I'm sure everybody's familiar
Is this
with
what it feels like, Alicia, when things go off the rails? Okay.
So the Illuminati, though, they're supposed to be the ones responsible for introducing the New World Order.
Right. Yeah, because they have their hands deep into everything.
They've been accused of devil worshipping. Obviously, they have certain symbols that you'll find: triangles, pyramids, and Dave, you'll find this interesting. The number 666.
Yes. Why would I find it interesting?
Just checking.
Okay. It's the number of the
The
beast.
reason I say all
Iron
that is
Maiden.
like I'm still baffled that people think the Illuminati has a spacecraft that can go up and shoot this
I
satellite
know.
down.
Well, why
They have
can't-
a warplane.
Well, why wouldn't they be able to? I mean, if they had a low orbit...
If they're inviting Justin Bieber into their ranks, this isn't Mensa.
No, but imagine imagine the high-profile people that have in the Illuminati. They've got more money than Carter has pills. I mean, just think of the resources that they have.
They have more money than Carter has pills.
Yeah, it's an old saying.
Oh. Who's Carter?
I don't know. Somebody who made aspirin, I think.
Oh.
I don't know. That's an old saying. I don't know. Look, where's our fact check guy?
I'll look it up right now.
Yeah.
We don't really have one.
Yeah, we have Dave. Dave's fact check. Dave's fact check. But anyway, they would be able to control so much of the resources I mean, heck, if Elon Musk can throw his car up into orbit, why couldn't?
Right. Well, you got Jeff Bezos launching little missions up into the
Why couldn't
into
they?
space. Well, is he a member of the Illuminati?
I don't know. Oh, who knows? Maybe.
Apparently, the Illuminati also controls the Freemasons, which, if you watch National Treasure with Nicolas Cage, the Freemasons, all kinds of secrets they were trying to bury.
Mm-hmm. Okay, here we go.
Oak Island.
So, where does Carter
Basically, a huge number of something, an amount of something that is greater than one can count, a reference to the popular patent medicine created in 1868 called Carter's Little Liver Pills, which were renamed to Carter's Little Pills in 1959.
So this is me rolling up the window going with the bird.
I love how Nash is all like, "See, I told you, Mark." I'm like,
I never heard that.
I would guarantee there's a whole bunch of people listening that had no idea that's an old saying. An old saying's like I can't even think of one.
Like, it's got more money than Carter has pills. There you go. There's an old one. I just had
A penny saved is a penny earned. That's one people would recognize.
That's the same thing. It's right there. But yeah, so they control so much money. I think it's a totally. I wouldn't put it past them at all to have a low orbit plane. Or high orbit, whatever that works out for a plane that can be in the inner middle space there, to be able to shoot something out in space. And
I would only take away from that argument because the two really richest people in modern history just got things that can go like that.
Well, right, but the Illuminati's been able to have their hands in everything worldwide since the 1700s, right?
Yeah.
So they've got plenty of dough.
1700s, Munich.
So
Bavaria.
I mean, they could have people like Henry Ford, or I mean, who knows?
Yeah, but the big problem is if it's not that easy to launch something like this in a way that isn't going to get mistaken for a nuclear launch and trigger.
That's correct. Unless they were in control, they had the people who were in control.
So
of
you're
those
saying
things.
they're in control, even like letting the Russians know, like, look,
Yeah.
we're taking out the Black Knight satellite. We're not launching nukes at you. Relax.
Right.
But you think also, when you launch something like that, you could see it for like Cape Canaveral, where they places where they launch.
Right.
NASA launches a lot of stuff. Like, you could see this for miles, and you could just watch it go up.
Yeah.
Like for the Illuminati, like to launch a plane up, shoot a bomb, blow up the satellite. It just sounds a little like BS.
Well, there really wouldn't be any explosions. It's in space.
But they have video.
Oh, and your
Yeah.
favorite movie,
explosion.
Star Trek, everything explodes and there's fire in space.
Well, that's not correct.
But have you seen the video
Yeah.
of the actual shoot down?
Yeah, it was posted on WikiLeaks.
I didn't view it. If it was an explosion, then I don't buy it. If there was a true explosion, I don't buy it, because there shouldn't be an explosion.
Yeah, it shows a burning white light moving slowly across the sky.
Well, that would be the correct, because it would be entering Earth's orbit. So then it would start to
Yeah.
light up like a shooting star. So on that.
Listen.
So the Illuminati
Yeah.
shot a
That's
rocket
a shooting star right there.
and blew up the satellite.
Yeah, that's
and
a
that is
shooting star.
is that the end of the story, Lish?
Well, in
Maybe.
2020, it is believed that it was seen and recorded in the skies over the Philippines, but I only found a little bit. But that was
Came back during COVID?
apparently.
That's because the escape pod came off of it. Okay, Dave's pointing at something here.
So, yeah, that's
For
the escape
the
pod.
listeners of the podcast,
There's
describe
the
it.
plane. Yep.
Yeah. So this is good podcast.
Right.
Yeah, but so the escape pod came off of the unit, went back to the dark side of the moon, their local moon base, rebuilt the satellite and sent it back out. That's why it's been seen again. That's why we haven't really mapped the dark side of the moon, because it's dark and you can't see stuff.
Yeah. So
Boom, drop the mic. Everything's solved.
Done.
of course, there's no actual consensus on what the Black Knight satellite really is. And as it stands for BKS conspiracy theorists, no explanation for these certain pieces of pieces of evidence can rule out its existence. So we don't know what it is, but
Well,
yeah.
And NASA has come out and said, look, man, it's just a big old blanket.
Right.
Don't believe any of these conspiracy theories. It's just a
Right.
blanket. But looking at the pictures, I'm like, I don't know, man.
Yeah,
So, but no, I believe them.
Okay.
And here's why.
You believe everything you hear, Dave?
No. Follow me here.
Oh, I'll follow you anyway.
If you
Dave.
remember the documentary that had Transformers: Dark Side of the Moon, the space missions were simply a facade for the actual missions. And in this case, STS was at 88. They knew that people were catching on to the satellite.
Okay.
So they went up, and yes, they loosened a blanket to throw over the satellite.
I was just thinking, is
as
that
a
all they
decoy.
did? They
And-
threw the blanket over the satellite.
Yeah. So it's, I mean, if you want to hide something, what do? You throw a blanket over
Right.
it.
If you're under your blankets, the monsters can't get you.
Right.
So it's almost like it doesn't exist.
Right.
Okay.
So, yeah, it was just a blanket up there. Well, yeah, it was a blanket over top of the satellite.
Now to dial back what we were talking about, what you had mentioned earlier, Alicia, in 1960 with the sighting that happened. There was actually an article posted by Time magazine that claimed that the object was the satellite they had discovered the satellite because it had fired its retro rockets.
oh, okay.
Did you find that there?
No, I didn't.
When a satellite returns to Earth, this is all from the Time magazine article. When a satellite returns to Earth, it fires a retro rocket to slow down the descent. The retro rocket has a parachute and is supposed to be picked up by scout planes as it falls, so you detect the satellite, the chute and whatnot.
Okay.
According to Time magazine, when this particular when it was launched, when this particular object launched its retro rockets in August of 59, it completely disappeared. No one noticed orbiting for 4 or 5 months. Even though the Department of Defense employed people whose sole responsibility was monitoring objects in space. The DoD employees used a radar detector that was dubbed Dark Fence to help them find this, to help alert them to objects orbiting over the U.S., and this is how the Time magazine explains things. Instead of showing the recovery capsule and bringing it down, the rocket's thrust had increased the capsule's speed and put it into a different and higher orbit, where it circled for 4 or 5 months before the Dark Fence the DoD employees had noticed it. With the experience behind it, the space watchers could be expected to do better next time a silent unknown satellite. So basically, it was going to come down in the 60s when it was supposed to come down. Mm-hmm. And instead of firing its thrusters and shooting the satellite or shooting the parachutes for that so it could be recognized, it shot back up into space. And the people at Dark Fence, the DoD employees, were like, what the heck, where'd it go? Took them 5 months to find it. And Dark Fence, it doesn't say when Dark Fence was decommissioned, but there's an actual Department of Defense category department specifically used for this kind of stuff, and they refound the satellite back in orbit after it fired. So it reacted in a way not expected, so it didn't come back down to Earth. So I'm just saying, it's up there. It's up there. I'm just saying. Just a little nugget of knowledge. It's up there.
Is it V'ger 1?
Oh, if it was V'ger, that would be awesome.
Woo!
Oh, I got one more thing.
Oh, okay.
Hold on. Let me find it here. Hold on. I was getting ready to put it away. Oh! Let me yell into the microphone just a little louder. One of...
Oh, why don't we take a break?
Oh.
Be right back with that thought Nash is about to have. And we're back. All right, Nash.
Okay. So we've all heard maybe or seen of the movie Blade Runner, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Which version?
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, no, you're talking about Ridley Scott's, the first one, Harrison Ford.
Actually, I'm not really talking about either one. Oh, where's he going?
Like, how
I led you to that.
Is
Too.
that a red herring?
That was a red herring.
is it MacGuffin?
No, not a MacGuffin, but it was a red herring. The guy Philip K. Dick, who wrote the story, Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep, which is the basis for the movie Blade Runner.
Right.
Okay. So this is one of the kind of unrelated kind of things. He said he kept a journal, which he documented his experience with an extraterrestrial being.
Philip K. Dick?
Philip K. Dick, the big dick. Parts of the journals were published
PK.
In a collection called the Exegesis, Exegesis.
Yeah, that looks right.
Exegesis? I don't know.
Exegesis?
No, maybe phonetically, I don't know. Which included detailed passages about the reoccurring hallucinations he experienced. Okay, now I don't know anything about Philip K. Dick the person other than the fact that he wrote these stories.
Right. I'm wondering if he
was tripping balls,
yeah.
Who knows? These visions involved an entity he called the Vast Active Living Intelligent System, VALIS for short. He claimed that VALIS was a satellite, and the sole purpose of the satellite was to act as a communication tool between humans and extraterrestrial beings. And that was actually what helped corroborate or solidify some of the conspiracy theorists, like what you said, Alicia, about some of these other pieces that weren't really related.
Right.
But he was a person who was, he was an author. I don't know how mainstream he was when he was alive, but he was out there saying, and in his journals, saying that he had hallucinations about this satellite, and that was part of the things that made it so alien in origin. So if it was, we all know Philip K. Dick's work, and I've read a lot of his work. He's kind of out there, and I can imagine a lot of those hallucinations became his stories, but maybe that was some kind of influence from
A signal
or something from the Black Knight satellite. I don't know. Who knows? He's got some pretty groovy stuff, though. And I think there's a series about him right now on Prime, on his stories.
Not a sponsor.
No.
Not a sponsor. They should, though. They should send us some money because I
God,
mentioned
yeah.
them. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, Dave.
It's all good.
Bumped his foot under the table.
Podcasting faux pas.
Dave, you look like you had something, you saw something on your phone, you lit up, you had something to say?
Not really. Just I was looking up Philip K. Dick because I haven't looked him up before. It was interesting. He died of complications from a stroke at 53.
Oh, that sucks.
Which
Wow.
seems young for complications from a stroke.
Yeah.
So, is there a larger conspiracy there?
If there's a way to see, was he an Illuminati member? Or if he had any ties whatsoever to the Illuminati? I wonder if they came after him.
Do you think the Illuminati, if it really existed, would let Justin Bieber in?
Yeah, he's incredibly influential. If you're younger,
Okay. He's wealthy.
He's-
influential.
yeah,
I don't see anything about that, at least on Wikipedia, which is my
which are
quick source
yeah.
system.
That's why people say, "Oh, just recite it in Wikipedia."
Right.
Because I half think of the Illuminati like the Raj Al Ghul from the Batman movie. Where he's like, well, we've been around for ages, and we have to kind of steer society in certain ways.
League of Assassins.
Yeah, but by doing that, they need to have people in certain places to be able to do that.
So you guys seen the pictures. We had the discussion. What is your actual take on the Black Knight satellite? This thing that there's pictures of something weird hovering above us.
Yeah.
People are trying to tie it back to signals that Tesla got. Is it really just space debris? Or
But it
is
can't
it
be
aliens
Can't be
hanging
space
out,
debris.
monitoring what we're up to?
If it was space debris, it'd be out of space. It would have fallen to Earth at this point.
Look, man, you going to say NASA's lying to us?
Well,
Yes.
NASA said that a few days after they photographed it, it fell from orbit and burned up. So,
But it's seen there now, so
is it?
It's not there anymore, right?
maybe
Well,
it
Or
is.
maybe they're saying Jeff Bezos is going up because he's going to shoot a bomb at the Black Knight satellite.
Well, and if this thing was
To shoot
in
prime memberships at an
orbit
the aliens
that wasn't going to fall to Earth, but they did throw a blanket over it to hide it, that would adjust the orbit enough that it could have fallen to Earth.
And the Musk, he just gave him a car. He was like, we're sorry about that incident a couple of years back, blowing your crap out of the sky. I'll tell you what, I'll give you a car.
See, I don't think Elon Musk would be any member of the Illuminati.
No, but I think
Because he's got his own, he might start his own cult.
But I see,
Or he's a diplomat from another star
that's
system.
what I think. That's what I'm thinking.
I like that.
He was kind of like Philip
He's not
K.
even
Dick,
from this planet.
where he was being influenced, or better yet, he is one of them
Right.
on Earth.
Yeah.
Right. I'm here to chew gum.
So one of
kick ass.
the things he invents why he's here from another planet living on Earth is like,
The
we do
flamethrower.
need a flamethrower because that's rad as hell.
Because that's rad.
All right.
Who knows what he put in the trunk of that truck or that car that he sent up?
Right.
Who knows? Who
right.
knows?
And the fact that aliens get it first and we still can't buy it here on Earth.
It was the rare earth minerals that we use on our cell phones.
Right.
That only comes from one source in the world. He sent him a truckload of it.
Right. Spice.
Oh yeah.
I'm assuming it was just an Amazon delivery.
No, he hates Bezos. He wouldn't do a delivery.
He
for that.
can hate Bezos all he wants, but I guarantee Elon Musk gets Amazon deliveries daily to his house.
Right.
To his little box house. You guys see he lived in a box now? He sold all of his houses and he lives in this little teeny tiny box.
This tiny home?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. Completely modular. I was looking at it today and I'm like, that's really cool.
So Elon Musk lives in a tiny home?
Yes. That he rents the space from his corporation, from SpaceX.
I bet he only collects a salary of about $60,000 a year.
Maybe.
I'm going to talk about conspiracy theories.
See? See? You got some people.
Anyway, Kevin J., you asked for it. You want us to talk about the Black Knight satellite. We did. And I can tell you right now, you're even more confused than you were before.
Right.
Just own a cow. Just own a cow.
And we're all even more confused now with that statement.
Right.
But we're going to
own a cow.
But
Like
I
a
want to know.
heifer?
I want to know.
Yeah, a cow. You own a cow because the aliens only want one of two things:
Oh.
cows and probes. Own a cow. I don't want to get probed. I'm going to buy a cow.
Well,
There you go. They can probe the cow.
okay.
I'm exit only. I'm just saying.
Yeah, speaking of exiting,
Yeah.
that's what we should do. We beat this proverbial horse.
Yeah.
Cow.
Cow. Okay. The Black Knight said, look it up yourself. If
Yeah.
hey, if anybody member of the Illuminati, Justin, anybody listening, hey, shoot us an email at just go to our website paranormalpunchers.com. You'll find out how to reach us and let us know if we were close to any true facts.
You just got to keep looking up to see if those black silent helicopters start flying over the house a lot. You know,
Right. And I would like to know, like, is there a membership application?
Well, I was going to say, at least one of the four of us could do some good for the Illuminati.
You think
Right.
they
one
should
of
recruit
us?
at least one of the four
What
of
if they
us.
make us do Squid Games
Oh, God.
to
not-
see who's the last survivor becomes a member of the Illuminati?
No, I think it would have to be subversive. That's how they work. So they would need to find one of us and start, getting us to
I'm going to tell you right now, if it was Squid Games to see who makes it in the Illuminati,
Right.
I think red light, green light, I got you. I got all you.
So, what do you think the application process would be like to join the Illuminati? If they actually had an application, you have to fill out the application, the interview. Is it like a physical interview? Is it? I want to know what that looks like. That'd be pretty interesting.
I'm thinking it's like the Men in Black with invisible ink.
Oh yeah, okay.
Or possibly, how much money do you have?
Yeah, what's in your checkbook?
Yeah.
Yeah, but see, you can't just be people with a lot of money. You need people to do things.
You need to be at
you
a-
have to hire those people, and those people have to follow a process that doesn't include having a lot of money.
And you have to be in a powerful network of people
Yeah.
so that you could disseminate information subtly over the years.
Well, here's my idea. to hell with the Illuminati. We should start our own club and build our own ship so we can shoot shit down out of space.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
We just need, what are we going to call it?
That was the first thing I was thinking of. I was like, crap, I don't know.
No, we don't want to call it crap. Unless we can come up with an acronym for CRAP. If we could do that, that's hilarious.
The Thomas Crapper Society.
Hey, if you want to join our secret society,
That's right.
you'll find, go to paranormalpunches.com, you'll find a form online. Yeah.
And the first rule of the secret society,
It's talk about this.
You talk about it.
You gotta talk about
Tell
it.
everybody about it. So when we shoot down a satellite, everybody's like, hell yeah, that was Paranormal Punchers.
you got it, sucker.
Yeah.
More where that came from.
If I'm shooting down a satellite, I'm taking credit for it. Right? I'm on every TV.
And they got to YouTube it with the big goggles on there. Good,
Hell
like,
yeah.
come on, baby, let's do this.
Nash and I would be like, all right, so here the ship's going up. You watch it. Yeah, boy, here's where it shoots the rocket. We'd be like those sports announcers.
Right.
We would definitely tell everybody in the world that we're responsible for taking down that satellite.
That's exactly right. Be like high-fiving after it. All right.
I do think it's important to point out that with regards to the Black Knight satellite, it's not important to tell the people of Earth that we shot it down. It would be telling the people out there that we shot it down, don't screw with Earth. Just send that message out to space.
That's right.
Keep those aliens at
So
bay.
okay, so hold on here. Now, I'm just kind of wrapping it up too, because if we did this,
I don't think we're wrapping
yeah,
it
we're
up.
not really. I'm not wrapping the episode.
Delicious wants us to wrap it up. It ain't happening.
So if we have, okay, so here's my thinking. If we have our secret society, or not quite a secret society, you're planning on being secret. That's a good one. Plan on being secret
Right.
society. And we're members. Okay. So we shoot down this satellite. Okay. We shoot something out of the space to follow Dave's to say, don't mess with us. How do we get the message? Well, Dave, we sometimes forget that we have at our fingertips already a source of higher than normal technology in the center of the
An
earth.
iPhone? Oh.
The center of the earth. Remember, because they're down in the center of the earth. Well, Dave, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have better technology than we have on the surface of the earth.
But some places do believe that the term secret society means secret.
Well, that's why I say
Right.
we're planning on being a secret society.
Right. So here's how we're going to do it. Anything you post, just hashtag pudding skin. Oh. Then we'll know you're a member.
That's right. That's right.
Nobody else will catch on ever.
Ever. And then that could be reported back to the Hollow Earth and the reptilians there who have better technology who can send out the signal through that hole in the South Pole. Or is it? I think it's the South Pole, right?
North Pole?
Is it the North Pole?
Yeah.
Wherever.
Literally both ends of the planet you can enter.
Oh, God.
I mean,
Oh my God.
well, did that come out wrong?
Oh no, it went in apparently.
This is the point where
We're getting the.
Yeah, the hard out. Yeah.
Well, hey, anyway, so what you learn about the Black Knight satellite is we started our own secret society. That's probably the only thing you learn from this. And remember, if it's not weird,
It's not worth checking out.